Investors and traders, welcome to the channel. Today is 29th of September 2024. Everyone, I hope is having a great weekend. We will be taking a look at the Chinese stock market, and we will be covering the Alibaba stock in particular. So last week, the key news coming out of the markets was that the Chinese government actually came out with a big stimulus to prop up their property market. And at the moment, what I'm hearing through my sources is that the banks have been advised to actually give out loans to pretty much everyone who's coming in. So it's a big news because what it also means is that it is the stimulus which is also going to move into other assets such as the stock market. As always, this video is for educational purposes only and it's not a financial advice. So since last year, actually, we had been talking about the Alibaba stock, and we had actually been talking about that the stock is putting in a pretty big bottom. And last year, July, actually, I had put out a video talking about certain key levels that the stock was actually targeting if it is able to hold a key level. So unfortunately, that key level, which was around here, the stock did not hold, which was around 78, 77 level. And it was a 61.8% retracement. It broke below about $10 to 78.6% retracement, which is right here. And when the low actually came in about 60, 67 and a half roughly. And since then, what we have seen is basically this market on the weekly chart just go nowhere, and it's actually consolidating and just broke below this trend line. And then what it has done is, we were talking about completing this ABCD, and now it has broken higher right here. So let's just recap what we see in this chart. So on the New York Stock Exchange, the IPO came in the week of 15th of September 2014. So it's been a decade now since Alibaba has been listed on the New York Stock Exchange. I believe before that they were on the Hong Kong Exchange, and maybe they have also a dual listing now on the Hong Kong exchange as well. So what typically happens is, in the cycle of an IPO, especially about a decade ago, we saw a thrust higher, and then what it did is it basically went below the IPO lows. And while doing this, it actually completed this ABCD pattern right here. Now, what I want you to draw your attention to is this blue box here, because this is where a lot of consolidation took place between 5th of October 2015 and a final low coming in around 8th of February 2016. And here, once it broke above that, then there was just no looking back. The stock just went higher and higher and higher. And then, of course, a pullback right here, consolidation, break out of it, completed the ABCD pattern. In fact, it went much higher. So actually, this is an extension of an ABCD. Just by eyeballing, it looks like 1.272 times the AB leg, which is the CD leg right here. But I've not drawn it like this. I've only drawn the ABCD. And then, we saw a massive decline coming in November of 2020. And then the stock has just been going lower and lower and lower. And to the downside, it did complete this extended ABCD, which is the 1.618 times the AB leg. But of course, the downtrend was strong enough that it actually went lower and challenged these lows coming back from 2015. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is this blue box here, because what the stock did back then, ending its consolidation or starting an up move or putting in a secondary bottom, internal bottom on the 8th of February 2016 week, this is a very similar kind of price action here. The only thing is, it is more extended in time. So it looks like the stock likes to do double bottoms, and this is why in the at the bottom of this box I've actually mentioned double bottom with a question mark, because we were waiting for a proper breakout. It did look like last year in July that from the 61.8% retracement around the $78 mark, as long as it was held, we might be actually looking for an ABCD breaking out of this big consolidation. But now it looks like what has happened is this actually pretty good internal low came right from the 78.6% retracement. Now, this is very similar to what happened back in 2016 as well. And now last week the stock was up for the week 21.5%, 21.57%. This is what the trading view is telling us. It was up by 19 bucks. A really big move in the market for this stock. We have seen these kind of moves here before, but it was not able to actually get above this consolidation by taking the swing highs out. Now the good thing to note here is that right now it has actually taken this swing high out, and it looks like it is going for these two swings here. Now really key thing is that if it is able to get above the 129 mark, which is this structural resistance, possible structural resistance, then in my view we are going for $160 per share, because that is the 38.2% retracement from all-time highs reached to the bottom, which is a double bottom. At that point it will be a confirmed double bottom, coming in on 24th of October 2022. So it's really interesting that the fundamental news that came out, but the stock was already telling us there was a lot of accumulation taking place, but it was for a very long period that it was happening here, which could be pretty frustrating for longer term investors and especially for traders, because there's just not much opportunity here. What it is doing is just basically moving in a trading range. So now what we need to do is we need to watch these two key levels, 122 followed by 129. 122 is basically this swing high, and 128 will be this structural possible resistance coming here. And the good thing is that this time the momentum is also improving. So what we have is I think over the course of a couple of weeks we should begin to see the 20-week moving average get above this green line, which is the 89 period moving average. So that will actually mean that the momentum has become pretty good from a shorter term perspective, and then the chances will increase for this market to actually go and hit about 122 120 level. That's where the 200 week moving average is, and beyond that is our target of $160. It looks like the stock wants to go and target $160 per share level. Now let's have a quick look on the monthly chart as well. So here we go. On the now next Monday is the last trading day of the month of September, so the month of September will conclude, and it will conclude with a really positive looking monthly close for the Alibaba stock, which is also really good for the bulls. And let's just quickly draw this retracement right here. This is something which we saw on the weekly chart. So there we go. About $160 is what we are looking at as a possible target. It needs to get above the 122, and then a really key level is the 128 mark, and then I think we'll be able to actually achieve the kind of target that we are looking for Alibaba stock. Now let's have a quick look on the daily chart. On the daily chart, here we go. You can see that it's just been a really long consolidation or trading range. We were getting bullish around here, and then we were waiting for in the month of June and July last year in 2023 that as long as this level is held, we could be looking for 140, which will be an ABCD higher. Unfortunately, that pattern actually failed, and it moved about 10 bucks lower. From 78 and went to about 68, 67, right around the 78.6% retracement, a little bit lower. And then here we can see this pennant formation and a break out of it, and you can see how the market has actually been moving higher with these gaps up. And the obvious target now comes around 122. Now the Chinese market is actually closed next week from 1st of October because of the Golden Week. The positive news came before that in terms of the movement of the stock. but because of, I believe, the stock exchange is also closed, so we are not going to see much movement for some time in the stock. But the patterns are telling us that there is a really good momentum coming into the Alibaba stock, and we are targeting $160 per share level. Now, let's take a look at the ETF for the China's large cap stocks. And here what we have is something to note, and that is, here we go. We have a very nice ABCD pattern completing around 33. And look, this is the last week. This went up by 18.5%. And Alibaba stock was up by 19.5%. So there you go. And there are some other Chinese stocks which are also, doing pretty well. Shorter term, I think we're gonna hit about 33 spot 70, where we might see some sort of resistance come in. Not only just because of the 38.2% retracement, but that's our key level, but also it's just hovering above the 200 week moving average, and we also have this ABCD pattern here, and the structural resistance, possible resistance coming from the structure on the left hand side from January 2023, and then you can see that here we have this structure going back to March 2020. So it's gonna be around this region key hurdle, but if it's able to get above this, which in my opinion it is likely to do that, then not do, because of the fundamental push of the stimulus behind it, that is going to be something really positive for the Chinese stock, and we could see a pretty nice start of a bull market in this. And now some of the other popular Chinese stocks we can have a quick look at is, for example, BIDU. You can see that the BIDU has also been just moving lower and lower, and last week it went up by about 21, nearly 22%. So the Chinese stocks overall, they are kind of waking up after a long slumber. So it's something, the market, that we need to be taking a look at. Let's also take a look at Tencent. Tencent, here we go. And here we go. So this one, in my opinion, actually looks a little stronger than the from a pattern perspective than the Alibaba stock. It's got a nice trend line support right here. It went up by about 24.5%, and I believe this resistance, which around here came from 38.2% retracement. Here we go. Yeah, so the market was not able to actually take out that level, and I think it has retraced down to roughly, it's between 38.2% and 50%. This is where this market has actually retraced down to. Here we go. And if we take this low as well, then I think it's down by about 61.8%. Here we go. And here we go. So pretty strong support here. You can see that we have a confluence of 50% coming from this level, 61.8% coming from this level. We have the trend line. We have pretty good support here. And what it tells us is that we are most likely in an ABCD move higher. Here we go. And boom. There we go. And we could see actually about $22 per share level coming in for the Tencent. That's gonna be right at the 61.8% retracement, and that's gonna be a pretty it could also be a pretty strong resistance level, but for us, for right now, it is a possible target as long as we have this 950 level being held right where we are. So there we go. That's Alibaba and Tencent and overall FXI. So key markets to watch, and I will be starting a new segment in which we just cover the emerging markets and overseas stocks, for example, from China and also Europe as well. some of the interesting ones making the moves. So thank you very much for watching the video. If you found this video for educational value, then please click that, give it a thumbs up. And if you like our technical analysis, then please subscribe to the channel. And if you do, then hit that bell icon button. That way you will know when the new videos are posted and you will not miss anything. So thank you very much for watching the video. Good luck, good trading, and speak to you guys soon, and have a fantastic weekend.